Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the finals of Pauper Premier League Season 1. I'm Alex Ullman. I'm here with Kendra Smith, and we are in for a treat. So the finals are best 3 out of 5 matches. And right now, Adam Yurchick, who was on a tear all season long, put his back is against the wall. Kendra, am I wrong, or was Chris VanMeter Adam's only loss in the regular season? I know they were both in week 6.
I think you're right, actually.
Well, so far,
because it was I actually can't remember now.
Neither can I. It's late. It's been a long 2 months. This started 2 months ago with way before Modern Horizons hit. And now it was after Modern Horizons.
Yeah, it was like right after Modern Horizons. But
so how it's working now is we're in match 3. The players don't know what each other are playing. We do. You're about to find out. Adam needs to win this to stay alive. If Chris wins this, he has won the league. So let's get down there and see what's going on. And we are on Mono Black versus 4-Color Snow. Kendra, what do you like in this matchup?
Well, I liked seeing what happened last time we had this match. Chris just ran away with it, and Adam here took a bit of a slow hand, but it seems like it's starting to pay off for him a little bit. So let's see if he can keep that up here.
The big thing with Adam's hand, he has no natural blue sources, so he's really leaning on Astrolabes. Meanwhile, Chris has Chris is not going for Chittering Rats to deny the draw. I think he's correctly valuing the fact that Adam can see so many cards with Astrolabe.
Right, absolutely.
But
he's not seeing those lands.
No. Do you Preordain or do you Astro here? You Preordain. Yeah.
Preordain for sure. Yeah, you want to see as many cards as you can, try and hit as many lands as you can. And he didn't hit a land.
He didn't hit a land. And here comes Chittering Rats. And there's another Chittering Rats off the top.
Whoa.
You cannot draw this up better if you're Chris VanMeter. You cannot.
This is unreal.
I mean, listen, I play a lot of Mono Black decks. I love Mono Black control. These are the hands you dream of. And these are the hands that make your opponents just throw their hands up and just become miserable people.
Wow, and there's a lightning
Rats
bolt.
Into Rats. And he's going to do it again. And Adam just has to be... I mean, the question is now, if you're Adam, do you play out Skyfisher for next turn, or do you leave up Counterspell? I think you have to leave up Counterspell.
Yeah, unfortunately.
What do you do if you're Chris here? Do you run out a decoy? Do you just pass, make Adam waste turn after turn? I like this. I like running out the Crypt Rats because it's going to force Adam to waste a spell, and it's not going to put that much pressure on you to do anything.
Right.
Astrolabe. Who cares that you have red and green in play? You have blue.
We found land number 3.
Yeah, but it's not going to pay off until next turn. And again, I don't think you can run out the Skyfisher yet.
Nope. And that's Cuombajj Witches.
I mean, not a great draw, but I still think you run it out. And if you do, and he counters it, do you play Pestilence?
Probably, yeah. I honestly might have considered playing the Pestilence first there as opposed to the Witches.
So I don't know. I don't like that much. 2 I do, but Ephemerate's pretty big here. But look what's in his hand. Look what's in Chris's hand. Chainer's Edict.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
and I can just blow out that Ephemerate completely.
Oh, okay. So Adam is going for Mulldrifter. He needs to see cards. And this is...
So we found a Skred.
Skred is pretty good, because Skred is going to take out the Gray Merchant with the trigger on the stack, which means it's only going to be a 4-point life swing, which is fine. Oh, okay. I
Chris
don't like
baiting.
that play. I don't like that play from Adam. Adam, Chris has Unearth in his deck. He has Grey Merchant. I think Grey Merchant is more dangerous in the face when you have Kor Skyfisher, because Kor Skyfisher can block Crypt Rat, Chittering Rats easily. But you're setting this up with Skred. But again, there's that lingering Chainer's Edict. I don't love this play.
Right.
It
So now it just depends on what happens from Chris's angle. Because what could even just happen here is that we could just see the Ephemerate.
Well, he gets back Counterspell.
So he is going for the Ephemerate line then.
He is going for the Ephemerate, and this Edict is going to make that look really bad. Yet you snap this off. And sure, you can Ephemerate, but then the Ephemerate's stranded. I think you have to let this resolve.
Yep, absolutely.
He's going for it. He wants to get a spell. He knows it's not going to survive. He knows he's stranded the Ephemerate. He's getting back Skred, which is smart. It gives him outs to other big threats. It lets him take the Grey Merchant off the board in a turn.
But would you want to go for the Grey Merchant though, or would you not want to deal with the second Cuombajj Witch that's about to hit the board?
I think it's Grey Merchant. I think witches are good. But Grey Merchant is, I don't know. The witches represent basically what it comes down to, a 4-turn unanswered.
So there's definitely merit to both ones. So there's there is merit to both lines here, Skredding either the witches or the merchant. We are seeing a Skred here, it looks like.
No matter what, Adam is going to be able to draw another card next turn, thanks to, he's going for Skyfisher. This will let him get back Astrolabe. He's not playing it. He wants to Counterspell and Skred this turn. I think by not recasting it, Chris has to know something's up. I think you go for Edict this turn, because you're not super worried about the Skyfisher yet.
Right.
And you can bait out a counter.
Right. And baiting out a counter might actually be really good, because you know what you can actually do? You can sign it blood to kill Adam.
You can sign it blood to kill Adam. And the thing is, if you go for Chainer's Edict, which he's not, he's just jamming. A nice play with Chainer's Edict is forcing your opponent. Spellstutter Sprite can serve as a counter, like a counter to Chainer's Edict, but it can't hear because of the witches. So it's going to force Adam to spend actual counterspell.
And actually, the Spellstutter Sprite wouldn't get the Chainer's Edict to begin with.
Because of the witches.
No.
When I say counter in air quotes, but he just lets it resolve. He lets the Edict resolve, and now it's a 4-turn clock.
Yep. And it's actually, it's not even 4 turns now.
Sorry. 2. It's a clock, thanks to the counterspell. Oh, there's another Skyfisher. But you can go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're just on the Tim plan. Tim. And what's the draw? Another witches. Well, it's actually kind of useless, because when you get the third one, it just you do it to kill one of the witches. But I think if you're Adam, you have to kill this. You have to, which means Chris gets to sign in blood. Yeah. They're fourth witches.
So the other question is, so do you go for the other witches here, or do you go for the Crypt Rats?
I think you go for witches. You play witches, because then you have a kill next turn cycle. And if Adam spends his time killing your creatures, you can untap with the Crypt Rats. Also, you can't play Crypt Rats because then otherwise you would have attacked with both witches.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the draw? Best draw here is Pulse of Murasa. What is it? Hands are slow.
Yeah, hand may be frozen here, unfortunately. Up there is Mulldrifter.
Okay, Mulldrifter with Ephemerate. We're going to see a ton of cards. So, Adam draws 4 cards. They are loading.
Buffering. Oh, wow.
Seeker. Land. Counterspell. Land. I don't think you... what do you play? Evolving Wilds? You cycle Ash Barrens? I think you play... No, Adam played the land this turn.
Yeah.
He can't do anything.
He played the forest.
Plays out Seeker. And that's it.
And that's going to be the game.
I cannot... You know what? Chris VanMeter knows these decks. I thought he was playing slightly outdated decks, but he knows these decks inside and out. He is taking the right lines every time.
Absolutely. And he's definitely showing that he knows exactly what he's doing with these matches and everything. You know, a lot of people look at, players like Chris and some of the other players that we've had in the league so far. And we've seen some comments, hey, I don't know if this, I've never seen them play Pauper before. I'm not sure that they maybe know how they're playing things, but now we're actually seeing this and Chris obviously knows his stuff here, and he's really showing his moves.
Chris plays a ton of the format. He plays, I think, every week for the Card Kingdom stream. He loves the format. At the same point, we have people like Adam, who has placed highly in Pauper challenges. Michael and Andreas both doing well in challenges. Let's not discount you. Ricardo has had success in the Brazilian scene.
Joseph?
Joseph is very well known and has done very well. I've 5-0'd a few leagues. I think 3 total. But let's be realistic. I'm not known entirely for my play skill. But let's see what we've seen this matchup before. Chris is still sending out those witches. Doesn't matter how good they were to him. He knows his plan. And Adam, again, doesn't have sideboard cards here. And Adam is considering the land destruction plan. Don't get greedy, Chris. Sorry, Chris. It's late, guys. I'm sorry. It's late, folks. I am so sorry.
We're getting there.
But...
So we're seeing Dispel? No?
I don't think you want to bring in Dispel.
And he brought in relics last time, but I don't know that we're going to see that this time.
I don't think it was a smart play last time.
Yeah, it didn't really do that much, honestly.
He's bringing Weather the Storm, though, which I like. It buys you a ton.
Right.
But, Chris needs to win one of the next 2 games. And you know what? He hasn't learned how to lose tonight. So I don't know. Edict seems so good in this matchup.
Yeah. I like how Chris has been playing, and I like his chances. I don't know about this hand. This hand is a little bit iffy for this game plan, but yikes. Adam is just mulligan. Yeah, Adam is just mono mulligans tonight.
And he had a bottomless Skred. And you know what? This hand doesn't look great from Chris, but it's fine.
Absolutely.
It has the cards you want. It has... Because that's the thing. Adam's deck is very threat light.
Mm-hmm.
Did he not find the second land? Oh, he's digging for it with Preordain.
Yeah. Yeah, the hand is just loading just a tiny bit slow. So
yeah. But again, Chris's hand lines up very well with the cards in Adam's hand. Defile for Sprite. You have Oubliette. You have Edict. Adam has no way to handle those Oubliettes.
Yeah. No, this is definitely looking very interesting. It's really just kind of going to come down to, can Chris find a threat that isn't Pestilence?
Yes, exactly. But more than that, can Chris find card draw? Can he find some form of velocity? Right now, he's just drawing a ton of lands.
Yeah, and it looks like Adam found land number 3. So I think this turn, do you go for... Wow, we found land number 4 as well. So if you are Adam, do you go for the Skyfisher replay Astrolabe here?
No. It's tempting, but I think if you... Well, I'm wrong again. I've been wrong so much tonight. The thing is, because I drew that other land, I'd be tempted to wait a turn so I could threat with counter backup.
Right.
But it seems that Adam knows that his game plan is going to lean heavily on Archaeomancer of Murasa, so he's willing to throw everything else to the wood chipper.
Pretty much.
But you know what? Here's one of the things. Chris has drawn 3 lands in a row.
And that's not always the worst thing for the control deck. He can just control the board until he's ready to just start firing off what he needs to. So drawing lands isn't always the worst of things, especially right now.
So is he the control here?
I think so.
You think so?
Yes.
Why?
So,
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm curious why you think he's assumed the control.
Oh, absolutely. He just has all of the removal in hand here. And, again, we have the perfect information.
Mm-hmm.
But Adam doesn't really have a whole lot. He's got the Spellstutter. He's got the Ephemerate. He's got Counterspell. But Chris just has enough gas here that he can just go, removal spell, removal spell, removal spell. And there's only so much the counter magic can do there. And in fact, that might actually hurt Adam even more, because that might just do like what you were saying before and strand the Ephemerate.
Mm-hmm. I mean, neither player is drawing answer. They're all drawing answers, no threats.
Right.
And that Spellstutter Sprite's just stranded. It can't do anything, because if it comes down, it's just going to eat a removal spell. Like, I think the best draw here for Adam is Mulldrifter. Instead,
More
it's
lands.
another land.
Let's see, can Chris? No, Chris finds another land too. It's lands for days here, everybody.
Days for days.
Mono
Days
lands
wouldn't do anything here, even if it was legal.
Right. Mono lands control.
I've played that deck.
Yeah. Everybody wants another land for Adam. Wow. And something? More lands!
We are bringing the most exciting games in Pauper Magic, let me tell you, folks. Top deck? Is it a land?
Doesn't seem like it's a land.
Ooh.
There's a Thorn?
I don't think you can run it out there into nothing.
No. That hand is too full. Especially because that just uses so much of your mana at that point.
Yeah.
That no.
What did Chris draw? Another land, it looks like.
Yeah.
And Adam drew a Skyfisher. And now we're getting to this thing where who's going to discard a spell first? Adam has 2 Skyfisher. So Adam's breaking serve. Adam is trying to commit threats to the board. And what we're going to see is Chris be able to fire off a flurry of removal spells. I think if you're Adam, you let them all resolve. I don't think you want to protect threats. I think that twice Adam got buried under the card advantage from Monarch, and he has to respect that.
Right.
And he has to assume that Chris's hand is just loaded with removal. Otherwise, why take so long?
Absolutely. And we're definitely seeing that respect here.
But here comes the removal. So, first comes Victim of Night, which resolves. That's actually probably the best thing possible, because it means that Chris doesn't have to discard next turn no matter what.
Chittering Rats.
Do you let it resolve?
We will see. I actually might consider letting it go, because then you can just Skyfisher and play Astro again.
More than that, you can put away a dead card and shuffle it with Evolving Wilds.
Right.
And looks like that's exactly what he's doing. He put away Spellstutter Sprite. If he shuffles it, that's pretty good. He gets to, bolt. And now, so he gets a fresh draw. That actually worked out pretty well for Adam. Adam's drawing what? He's going for the second Skyfisher. Drew Skred. Not the best draw right now. Skyfisher, replay Astro, which draws you what?
We will find out in just a second.
It was Azorius Chancery.
Oh, wow. More lands. Lands forever. Lands.
And Chris draws another land, but he's going to make a move. He's going to play this Oubli, or attempt to. That's going to backfire thanks to Ephemerate. No, Adam lets it resolve. So let's see. You know what? We talked about the removal spells from Chris being stranded.
Mm-hmm.
The cards stranded in Adam's hand right now are all removed. He can't do anything. The best he can hope for is a counterspell. Is Chris's game plan right now get 2/24 mana, Pestilence, and then Fireball you? Because that's what it looks like.
Yeah, probably. Something like that.
Okay, here's a Brainstorm. Brainstorm's going to do something. Is he waiting to end of turn this Brainstorm? Oh no, he drew it. My turn sequence was off. Sorry.
Sure.
So Adam brainstorms. Preordain, probably scry those two to the bottom. I really like the patience from Chris here with his permanence. It's not easy to do nothing. Here's a game breaker. Here's Mulldrifter. The good old Mulldrifter.
The old drifty boy.
Yeah, but again, there's an edict in the yard. There's an edict in hand. There's 3 instant speed removal spells. Triple Brainstorm from Adam? That's not great.
No.
It's not bad. So Deadweight. Is Deadweight going to eat a Spellstutter Sprite? Yes. Is Spellstutter Sprite going to eat a Defile?
Almost certainly.
Is this Defile going to be eaten by Counterspell?
And then is there going to be another Defile to back it up?
Well, we're about to find out. No, we're seeing Ephemerate, which is going to get defiled. This interaction heavily favors Chris.
All right.
Ephemerate doesn't resolve. Defile doesn't resolve because its target is gone. And now the window is open to resolve Chittering Rats potentially.
Again, that looks like exactly what he's going to do.
He's being extremely patient with his Thorn. And I mean, if you're Adam, I think you put a Brainstorm on top, and then do you cast Brainstorm and try to dig to an Ash Barrens?
Yeah, probably here. Do we find it? Oh, no, there was a Skred.
So he's casting the first Brainstorm. Astrolabe, Ephemerate.
We're going to see Astrolabe come down.
Yep. Which will draw the Ephemerate. And then he's cleared 2 cards, so he gets to Brainstorm again.
Right.
Weather the Storm.
That's definitely a great draw here.
Is it, though? It just buys time.
And that time is what Adam needs here.
I think Where's the Weather the Storm?
It just hasn't shown.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Not casting the Weather Storm there. That's a little interesting.
I think he's sandbagging it.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to try and save it for a turn where Chris is trying. Because if he does it on a turn where Chris is whittling his life total low enough, it's not going to matter.
Right.
You know what? I wonder if this comes down to decking.
So it's, if I'm reading this correctly, 32 cards in Chris's and 20-ish in Adam's.
23 right now. It would explain why Adam hasn't started flickering his Mulldrifters.
Mm-hmm.
Adam now knows he has to go on the aggressive plan. He has 2 counters in hand. Okay. Now things are going to get interesting. What is the play from Chris? Chris draws a swamp. He has time. He's at a pretty robust life total. How do you handle this? Do you flashback Edict?
I think I would probably lead with Defile. Try and take out... Well, I guess it doesn't really matter either way, but yeah.
I like leading with Edict. Oh no, he's leading with Pestilence.
And that's a good way to do it. That will force counter magic every time.
Yeah, Chris realizes he can take a hit no matter what. And now he goes for Defile 1. Which actually and is he going to go for the second Defile? He is. That might meet Ephemerate. No, Chris, again, he is being incredibly patient. But now, Adam is up on cards and up on options. So the question is, do both players realize this is now a game about decking? And is it a game about decking is the question. What do you think?
I think it depends. It depends on... I think actually not so... It might actually come down to that. Because I think Chris doesn't have... Or Adam doesn't have too much of a clock represented on the board here. That's a 10-turn clock. So if Chris is able to just find enough removal just to push through all of the stuff here.
Well, things just changed because Adam found Ephemerate and Archaeomancer. So now he can start drawing Lightning Bolt every day.
Yep.
Chris knows this. So let's see how this plays out. Another Mulldrifter too. So suddenly everything has changed. This heavily advantages Adam now. And even though the game is now about, can he flicker Archaeomancer enough times to win the game? Whether that's with Lightning Bolt, whether that's with Weather Storm, it doesn't matter. He has 2 counterspells now.
Yep.
I think Chris missed a window to try and take out the Archaeomancer. It wouldn't have mattered because there was a counterspell, there was an Ephemerate,
right.
But he missed a window.
And he knows that there is a counterspell in that hand now.
Yeah, at least one. He knows about one. He has to, if I'm him, I'm assuming there's at least another.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first time all night, Chris VanMeter has run really bad.
Yeah, finding just land after land after land. Not really that much by way of threats. I'm going to see a counterspell here. No, just going to eat it. That's interesting.
Well, he knows the way to win is, oh, this is going to eat a counterspell for sure. No, you know what? Does it? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's merit to letting it survive, casting Ephemerate on Archaeomancer, getting back a burn spell, taking it out and then becoming the monarch yourself. But I think that's very risky.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think if you're Chris, you fire this off, counterspell's gone. But now, okay.
And now we're moving on to game number 3 of this match. And This is going to get very interesting, especially because, now we got Chris is taking the lead here.
Yeah, let's see something. Looks like we're going to make a new match for this game.
Yeah.
No, they're low on time. We want to make sure this comes to a natural end.
Right. So what's going to end up happening is they're going to restart the match, and then it's just going to be, there's going to be some conceding going on just to make sure that we go into the right rounds at the right time with the right person with the right record. So basically what should happen, it may end up that they just decide to pass the, so like Chris would go first no matter what. But
that's what's going to happen.
Right. So what we might actually see is the way it should go is that Adam should scoop to Chris, and then Chris scoops to Adam. They go to game 3. So once it finishes, that way they go into sideboarding, and
they don't even need to do that. Like what will happen is Chris scoops game 1. They go to game 2, which is actually game 3. They get to sideboard. Chris is on the play, and we get our match.
Yep.
That played out a lot more like how I thought this match was going to play out, but we'll see.
Right.
So who do you like going into game 3 on the play?
I think again it comes down to like what the draws look like, and that's really been how these matches have been defined all night.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting no matter what. I'll say that much.
Mm-hmm. Because, like, if Chris draws more along the lines of the creatures, then he could just be falling right into Adam. Whereas if he just draws all the removal spells, then that might not just do a whole lot. But it also gives him better opportunities to basically, shut down Adam's strategies with that removal. More lands, more cards drawn, so on and so forth.
We're getting we're getting a little confusion. We are learning how setting up a game 3 works. So give us a second, folks. We've done it before. It's just
sometimes the mechanics of it can get a little confusing.
Yeah, a little bit. You know what? This might just be all about whether or not Chris can get an early Thorn. That was his key to victory in the first 2 games of their match, of this best of 5. And it didn't matter in game 1 of this match because Chris had a very aggressive draw. But it looks like they're ready. Chris will be on the play, and
looks roughly like that.
It might be over. Oh, no, we're not quite ready. We're watching some scoops.
Almost there.
Almost there.
2 scoops.
Yeah. Okay. Chris has sided out Pestilence and Unearth. He's brought in Duress. We might be getting... This should be it, yeah.
And here we go. We got some games. We got some matches. Let's go.
This is it. If Adam wins, we get another match. If Chris wins, and he's going to be on the... Chris is on the play, but he has to take a mulligan. And that hand...
Looks like we just lost the thing here very briefly. It's coming right back.
Chris's hand is fine, but...
He took a mulligan.
Yeah, so... Defile Chittering Rats is okay. It lines up fine against what Adam's trying to do. But I think the best draw here for Chris is Sign in Blood. That's not Sign in Blood.
Nope. Sure is not. Because now what we can see is a Brainstorm come down, followed by Evolving Wilds.
Yeah, but the question is, does Adam play the island for Counterspell?
It looks like he does.
Yeah, and now Chris has to respect that, and he's going to run this out, and this one could be over quick. We could be heading to match 4.
It's honestly starting to feel that way already.
Now, granted, that is not a great draw. No. You're going to draw a removal spell, but it feels like Adam has just, this is how the match is supposed to play. Adam is supposed to be advantaged. And for the first time tonight, this deck is actually working how it's supposed to.
And look at all those cards. Wow. What do you even put back there, Alex?
I think you put back Ephemerate for sure. And
probably Skred.
Skred or Lightning Bolt. I
like Lightning Bolt more here.
I actually think you put back Lightning Bolt because you want to protect it from Bojuka. If you fire it off, Lightning Bolt is one of your paths to victory, and exposing to Bojuka for no reason isn't great.
True.
So Preordain for 1 draws Adam a Counterspell. But he doesn't have Astrolabe.
So no Astrolabe. This is very interesting.
Skred. And Adam, Chris pings for 1. And then does Chris go for Seeker?
Yeah, Adam runs out that Seeker pretty quick. But it's
not long for this world.
Yeah, it's gonna meet with a terrible fate.
It's being edicted away, and now we're getting to that position where, again, Chris has all the removal, but Adam has the ability to see way more cards. He's already up 5 cards. And I think if you're Adam, you just snap off Counterspell on the first card draw spell you see.
Absolutely. So what we got from Chris? Nothing. It looks like he just drew Chanter's Edict there again.
Yeah, but that's not the worst draw.
No, it's great.
Yeah, he's set up to just handle every threat. And it looks like Adam just isn't drawing threats. He is refusing to commit a Skyfisher to the board.
No counterspell here. That those witches just slam dunk right on the board.
Looks like he drew a lightning bolt. And I think if you're Chris, you have to respect counters because he's leaving up the blue constantly.
Right. So there was an interesting. There's an interesting thing here. What your take on this? Okay. So if you were Adam here, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now you have Astrolabe, so now you do have lines. When you didn't have Astrolabe, would you be willing to maybe float a blue mana, play Skyfisher, pick up an island, replay the island, and then go Preordain? Because last turn Adam did not play a land, and so he actually could have taken that line if he wanted to, and held up counter magic in the process.
Maybe, but it looks like Adam is being incredibly patient. He has the time. It looks like he's going to be playing another Astrolabe. Yeah, and you can start to see the disparity in cards. And granted, Chris has not drawn any of his velocity cards, whether it's Sign in Blood or Phyrexian Rager, but Adam has just seen so many more cards. He's already up, looks like, 9 cards on Chris. Mm-hmm. And that number is just going to grow.
And it's Chittering Rats there. And that Rats is going to eat that counterspell probably. Question mark?
No.
Actually, putting it on, actually that might not be the worst thing, because then Well, no, Adam draws the card anyway, but you can because then you can just preordain and try and find whatever you need anyhow.
Yeah, I think it's not worth wasting a counterspell. Because he found a removal spell. No, he found Astrolabe. Okay. Things are interesting now.
And what did he find with the Astrolabe?
Land. And he's going for the second Preordain, which finds what?
Gas.
Another Preordain.
No, cheese.
But it's okay. You just have to respect the fact that Adam can cast Counterspell. Plains, swamp, plains, forest, mountain.
So now we're going to have Skyfisher come down, pick up Astrolabe, play Astrolabe. Tried and true.
That's the third
Ephemerate.
It's the third Skyfisher. So, let's see. What does this Astrolabe draw? Land.
Ash Barrens.
Is there a merit to holding the Ash Barrens until you find a Brainstorm?
No, he just snapped it off. Went and found other islands.
So...
Duress.
That's huge. It's going to clear... I don't like that. I would rather lead with... Wow. Okay. I don't understand either of these lines. I don't understand letting your threat die because it's the only thing you have. Like, granted, yes, you have tons of live draw, but...
And there's Skred.
Adam must really... And here we are again in the top deck wars. It's okay.
Not throwing down that duress. Because what you could also be thinking...
Adam has seen 14 more cards than Chris. 14. I like this. I like forcing him to waste the Ephemerates now.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. He knows that the key to his victory is...
So, yeah, you duress now. Make sure the coast is clear before you go for this Gary.
How many Skreds are in the graveyard? Just 2. So, I think you still have to wing Gary into play.
Yeah.
And Ephemerate, triple Ephemerate's really good, but not when you don't have anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Adam really wants to draw Mulldrifter. I mean, you always want to draw. You really want to draw here. Adam draws. Not Mulldrifter.
Yeah. And that's a sign in blood from Chris.
So let's see. We're still waiting to see what Adam's hand is, like what that card is. We'll find out soon enough. Spellstutter Sprite.
That's not going to do it here.
No, but...
That's another sign in blood. And it's duress.
So what does Adam... Land!
Land. Wow, these draws are just not working out.
Blame for Chris.
Blame that good old Moto Shuffler.
I mean, to be fair, Chris had some really awkward draws last game.
Yes, and absolutely. So I was just repaying in kind.
Lightning Bolt isn't going to get it done against...
Nope, and we're just seeing lands on top of lands on both sides here.
Yeah, but this favors Chris right now because he has the threat.
Yep, Chris is very firmly in the driver's seat.
Here's something important though, Skyfisher.
But how important is it going to be here ultimately? That's going to be the real question.
Well, it's going to draw you at least a card with Astrolabe.
Absolutely.
And that card is a land.
Another
so the
land.
answer is not very important because
you've just got edicts.
And the mana to cast them all. So I think, yep, you're flashing back Chainer's Edict. I don't think you defile this. I think you go for Edict 2 because you have it in hand.
Yeah.
There's some merit to leading with Duress, but
I don't think it's even necessary, really. Stranding some Ephemerates is actually not a bad play here because he knows he needs to draw more cards.
Yeah, this play makes a ton of sense. But now, if you're Chris, do you Duress that away?
Oh, that was big brain plays right there.
That was smart. I did not think of that. I should have, but I never thought of that.
Yeah, that was a really sweet play from Adam.
In Ephemerate. I mean, you don't know he has it, but do you Duress? So Ephemerate's suspended. Counterspell, huge. Now you can pick up, play it again, see what?
Skred.
Okay. Now I think the play is Duress, flashback, potentially.
Yeah.
Too.
It's Echoing Decay. It's just going all in on that edict. And that probably will meet a counterspell here.
It could mean another Ephemerate. No.
No, just letting it happen. Wow.
Okay. If Chris left Crypt Rats in, I think he wins this game.
That's Witches.
Which you have to Lightning Bolt. You can't let it live.
Yeah.
Because... Oh, no, wait. A Duress. Okay. Oh, there's Mulldrifter. This game is likely over. Mulldrifter finds another counterspell. Things do not look good.
Interesting. Chris can still pull himself out of a hole here, but it's going to take a lot of patience. And by that, I mean, he's literally just going to have to sit here and draw cards just up until the point where he can get there.
So here comes the Ephemerate on Mulldrifter. Ephemerate finds. Is met with an Echoing Decay, which is going to be met with...
Counterspell. No? Does it look like another Ephemerate?
I'm not sure. Looks like he's going for Ephemerate. But I don't think this is going to work. Is this going to be met with a Defile?
It feels that way, which actually might not be the bad thing, or might not be the worst thing.
Well, Defile will then get met with Spellstutter Sprite, so...
Well, and that's what I mean. It won't be the worst thing for Adam, because then Adam can just Spellstutter Sprite that, and then he still has the Spellstutter Sprite up to eat the Chainer's Edict. If he wants to do that,
the game is over. Adam has found the lock. Chris has a turn maybe to draw Bojuka Bog, but looks like we're going to game match 4. So what do you have in match 4?
So
he's countering his own Ephemerate. I like that. There's no reason not to.
Mm-hmm. So much counter magic here.
This is an interesting stack, but I think Adam's going to come out ahead. Just thanks again to that Archaeomancer. And this is kind of the power of the Archaeomancer. What is it? The Archaeomancer Ephemerate loop.
Mm-hmm.
It just means the game ends quickly.
Yep, very, very fast.
And when I say quickly, I mean very slowly. I think you brainstorm here and just protect your cards. You don't even bother snapping off counters. Or you can. I mean, what do I know?
Sure.
I've been wrong every time.
I think as soon as we see the Archaeomancer come down, though, Chris is probably going to scoop it up.
I'm not so sure.
Yeah, he might try.
There are 13 cards left in Adam's deck.
11 now, actually.
Adam is not presenting a ton of pressure. Yeah, Chris believes he has a shot. And get back a counterspell.
See what we got here?
Preordain? No.
We're going in for another Mulldrifter.
So, Chris is likely dead.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it depends on how greedy Adam gets. If he has another edict, which is met by... just happens.
It's fine, because then Pulse of Murasa happens.
Yeah, but do you really want to pulse and draw more cards? I mean...
Right.
You're at 9 cards. Chris is trying. So if I'm Chris, I'm thinking I want to be Burn. I think Burn is just a better matchup here than Mono Black. But
right, and so he probably chose the Mono Black here, part because it ran so well for him before.
No, I think it has. I think on balance, it has a better matchup.
Oh, sure.
That being said, we've seen this deck, this 4-color snow deck, take time to set up, and one thing Burn doesn't afford you is time. But
right, and that's one of the reasons, like our the red deck wins, aka also goblins, Stompy, Affinity. It's one of the reasons, like, all these like low to the ground aggro decks have just been really crushing it lately.
Yeah,
and there it is. Adam wins.
4. So, what do you think they're going to pick? I think if I'm Adam, I stay on this deck.
Absolutely.
And I think if I'm Chris, I move to Burn.
Probably, yeah. I think that's just reasonable. And what's the worst case that happens? Chris loses that one, and then we go to match 5.
That is a pretty bad case scenario for my sleep schedule.
I mean, I absolutely agree with you, and I believe our producer does as well.
So how about this? We'll take a quick break. We're going to get some water. We'll be back in just a few minutes with match 4 of the Pauper Premier League Finals. We'll be right back.
See you guys then.